Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the championship match for season 26. I'm playing Marcus, and the standings are such that if we tie, the overall result is decided by the second tiebreaker. So we split our match in the regular season, and we ended the season with the same total number of points. So the deciding factor will be something like, well, you can read about it if you're really that interested, but it has to do with essentially how well our opponents did, or how well we did against everyone else. I don't remember if it punishes you for losing against the people who did poorly, or rewards you for winning against the people who did well more. There's basically always two ways to formulate that kind of tiebreaker, or I guess you can combine the two in whatever weight you prefer. So I have to decide here on my 5. There's certainly all this engine stuff to do, and there's trashing, so it's actually not immediately obvious to me that I want to open with, say, a witch or a torture, due to hermit specifically. So I think I'm going to open with the counterfeit, actually, and then pick up the hermit now. If I hit 4, I will grab a quarry. Otherwise, 3 will be... now with 5, I'm not sure. I might take a second counterfeit with 5. I'm pretty happy to get a little bit ahead on the... I guess I was first player here. Get a little bit ahead on the treasure trashing. His oracle seems fine-ish, I suppose. My hermit misses. Could be a second hermit. Could be an oracle already. Well, I probably want a second hermit, actually. This is actually not great because the upcoming hands are going to be, well, quite bad, to be honest. Though, of course, it's nice that I got to trash some coppers. So I only have 4 coppers left, so I'm very likely to not have a buy in my next turn, since the estates all ended up there. I can't decide if I ought to take the quarry or a witch. I'm almost leaning towards the quarry first, which seems really odd, but here I will just get a silver, I think. This will be a madman for sure. I guess the only question is whether I would like actually, maybe it should be a... We'll see if he'll let me undo that. I think I'll actually start on the quarries already. Or the oracles, I mean. This shuffle looks... This shuffle looks real good for me. And that's very, very nice. He'll flip those, which I'm actually more or less fine with. I think it's actually probably overall advantageous to me. Maybe not, but... so he had real bad luck there with his whatever it's called. I probably want second oracle, right? This can be a double wall village. feel pretty good about my position. The junking is not like the most impressive thing ever. Here the question is whether I can save the Madman for a better turn. I mean, obviously I'll draw the whole deck if I play the Madman now. But I may draw most of the deck even without it. Let's go ahead and draw. I mean, I would rather have my real nice turn right away. I guess I toss that. I'm not really sure. It would be good to have another quarry. I can't actually decide if I want a silver here or not. I'm not sure I actually will get a huge amount of use out of it, but so I'm way ahead. It would be a real shame to botch this. The question is whether there's some value in another quarry or whether I'm going to be able to pretty much afford whatever every turn anyway. I think I would rather be certain of firing off than of adding additional payload at this point. I'll be able to most of the time safely gain the curse. I think I never really concluded my explanation of the situation of the match, but basically I have to win 3.5 games or better in order to win. So effectively I have to win 4 games, although presented with ties, I suppose I will take them. Well, depending on the situation. I could pile out the wall villages on my turn. That might be worth doing. I guess I probably want these cards. Maybe it was better to not do that exactly the way I did it, but I'm fortunate here I draw through anyway. So I guess the rest of the deck is just like treasures and stuff. Well, one of them's a wall village and one's a one's another thing. I could see that having been a oracle rather than the thing I made it, but 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can win the wall village split here. Seven to 3. And I guess the question is whether long term, if that's as important. So he would be playing with 4 terminals, which does limit his options a bit. Whereas I can build on pretty aggressively. I guess the only question, or the only potential issue, is him doing a little better on the groundskeepers than me. This gives me some odds of top decking walled village, which I got, so I will take that and be quite happy. I'm not sure exactly how to play the maybe I should have had an oracle there. I could have, of course, also gotten another torturer. See if he finds his madman or his torture or anything. Which he probably is, since he's searching so far. He'll discard those. I could, of course, draw dead here pretty easily. Well, I have like a Corey and a silver, maybe. I probably need to add a second hermit. Oh, he didn't get to his madman. That or he's saving it. Ideally, I would have played that before the Sacred Grove, but whatever. Yeah. I knew it was going to flip flames as soon as I had to play the Torturer before the Sacred Grove. So I probably... He can play 5 terminals. See, if I empty the groundskeepers... I can't quite empty the groundskeepers because then he can pile out, I think. Or something. He can get close to piling out. He may have been thinking about that because he has Madman in hand, so it may not be automatic that he wants to discard that. I would not hate having an additional I would not hate having an additional hermit here. I wouldn't hate still having a madman either, but anyway. I don't think I had a pile out. So if I take 3 groundskeepers and a duchy, I doubt he can score that many points. Uh-oh. Scary stuff. Scary stuff. I mean, I can actually afford to discard here probably, but... He must have the madman. This would be just the worst, most frustrating draw to play with 7. To play with 7 walled villages and only have like 4 non-action cards and draw dud here. Would just be the worst. He must, I mean, he must have the madman, right? So. It's very sad, though. Basically, it doesn't work unless I have a walled village on top there. Maybe he just has a pile out? No. We could have got 4 buys, I guess. Pretty sad if I lose this one. Well, it looks like I probably will, based on this hand. There's not... I mean, I can play things a little differently, but I mean, as far as consistency goes, I'm not carrying any baggage. So, it's pretty frustrating. I can't decide if the Sacred Grove is guaranteed to not really help me much, right? Like a duchy doesn't help. I guess I can attack him with the Oracle. This is crazy. I'm going to see 2 walled villages. I'll just keep these. I'll just keep this, I guess. Of course, you hate to give them a little bit of extra information, but I mean, I could buy an Oracle or 2. I could buy a Hermit. That is not good. I may want a silver, actually. I guess I'll just cry if he has draw. Like, what am I... this is so frustrating. What am I supposed to have done? He may have, and if that's the case, then the dead wasn't especially relevant in some sense, but I don't know why I put the big M. That's me. So here there's just one of these nasty boards where you have to build because there's a million attacks and you can't play without it, or you can't play around it, really. I guess the question is whether you do like temple for your trashing or monastery, or some combination. You can, of course, well, I guess one point is that Banquet plays pretty well with Monastery, which would make you favor that. Ironworks gets you, I suppose, Faithful Hounds. That's not amazing, but it's a little bit of something. And I guess Ironworks helps the monasteries a bit. Yeah, Sam might have had, or not Sam, Marcus might have had a forced win. Which would suggest I ought to have bought Province and got a better point lead. But that still was awful. If he has the 5-2, it's going to be pretty painful. I may go with Temple Monastery, actually. Well, apparently I am, because that's what I've purchased. I can put the monastery back, which is good. I still wouldn't have banqueted for the ghost ship, but not in the opening anyway, but he had a nice draw there. Well, this is pretty miserable. Maybe the opening I did was just really stupid. I could believe that. Won't be the first or the last time. I'm very thin. Hopefully he doesn't find his ghost ship here. But he very well may. That's fortunate. Now I just have to hope I draw 3, which I do. So I have to... I mean, the main thing here is just to actually keep having 3, right? $3, so how do I best accomplish that? Not really sure of that, but it's gonna be hard with this big of a city deficit. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard being down this much on cities, to be frank. That's pretty nice. The wisp, of course, I can make draw fairly often. Not here, but still fairly often. Well, yeah, I mean, I can, right? I just have to wait to play it. Since the rest of those cards are all babies. Well, it's not guaranteed I'll draw it, but they're mostly babies. So it's 4-2 on the cities right now. I can... Ooh, what a power. What a power. So there's some question, I guess, of getting the second idol, I would think. I can't really tell exactly how thin he is. I guess the issue is that even if so let's say I start cursing him, right? He'll just immediately... I need to get the Earth Gift with the boon so I can get an Iron Works. If I start cursing him with an idol, he just will clean up, I think. I don't expect him to... and that it would be another thing if idol... I feel like idol should just keep giving... every idol play should give you the boon plus the curse. Well, okay. All cursors don't need to be super good. I can kill one of these monasteries. It wouldn't be bad, of course, to just have actually $5 in the deck. Okay, he did whiff there. That's very nice. That's pretty useless. Now I'm actually going to think about it, I think. If he's really not thin in this much. Of course, then he'll have a turn where he'll trash 30 cards. The problem is once the cities run, he will trash the cards too easily. Okay, so apparently he just trashes them immediately. So the idol is going to end up being stupid. Long story short. The idol will end up being quite stupid. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have gotten 4 of this. No, let's take it 4. I guess I could have split the cities, right? If I had bought one there. Was my blunder. I could have bought the cities. Or I could have split the cities with him and had an idol, I guess, while he had a ghost ship. So, well, he would have these faithful hounds, but you know, they're not doing that much. Okay, that's miserable. Probably doesn't matter, but it is miserable. Oh, he did whiff again, so that's something. Of course, I do now absolutely just have to activate them, which means I don't really gain. He'll trash stuff, basically. I mean, Banquet is not really thinning him. Well, I mean, Monastery Banquet is not exactly thinning him. Man, it sucks that I didn't get to attack there. I gotta remember not to bottom deck my ghost ships in the future. It's terribly stupid of me. So now I get it after I don't want it. Right? Like now it doesn't help me that much. I mean, I don't have to activate the cities, but then he will the next turn, right? So what's the... Now is as good a time as any, maybe. So he has all the draw and I have not much. I don't really have a particular advantage. I have these dumb idols. He has a bunch of faithful hounds. Yeah, I could have split. Probably going for the old city. The old city split would have been the better thing to do. I guess I have to consider adding in, say, a second ironworks, maybe. Like, I'm gonna play for a really goofy pile out. Is that my only way to win? I'm not gonna win if the game lasts a long time. So somehow multiple piles have to be going at the same time, basically. For me to come out okay. I think. Like I have to somehow empty run piles with temple and playing several ironworks while I have this temporary points lead. What am I gonna buy? Treasury? Could buy, I guess, any number of things. I guess The coppers probably aren't going to run. I mean, I could get more ironworks even. That's not like that crazy, although it's not that good either. I could, yeah, I somehow have to start the piles down. This is gonna like immediately dud out for me. That was nice. So I have not hit the Wind's Gift yet, the bad one. Or the especially bad one. Maybe I should describe it. I don't know if I can pile if I overdraw my next. I didn't have that much draw. I mean, I could be picking some more up, but it's not that easy of a thing to do. I guess I only played one terminal right now, so I have quite a few hound plays I could still do. 4 more, so I could draw 8 more cards. Kind of. Not exactly. I could draw like 4 more cards. So in theory, I could get the piles pretty close to gone, but probably not actually gone. Probably going to take a couple turns to make this happen. Oh, the River's Gift doesn't have a good, doesn't have a friendly wording for this purpose. I guess he still doesn't have any money. Not that he really needs money, but he does need ironworks. He definitely is going to be in a position to overdraw and empty stuff if he can get an ironworks. I'm pretty surprised he didn't buy one last turn, actually. I mean, I guess I could do provinces. I feel like I'll stall out, though. I feel like I would have stalled out. Obviously, okay, he got the wind, so that's nice. Though he can just toss whatever thing. Toss Faithful Hounds. When do you put those? Put it at the end of turn. Yeah, so that won't help him. He can toss Faithful Hounds, but I'll just... I'll just inevitably... put the... So he gets some points there. Oh, and I guess he'll trash a curse here as well. I wonder if I had bought the ironworks, like if I could have made it. If I had bought the ironworks instead of the treasury. Or more likely by, by draw of some sort. So I have to So I can get 3 ironworks, which I can draw up. No. No. So I should probably buy a province here. I should probably gain. Oh. I can trash the monastery to a temple. That's not a especially exciting thing. I guess the fear would be that he can draw deck and pile, but that is maybe not worth worrying about too much. I could empty the ironworks now and just lose. That could be a thing I do. He just has 1 ironworks, right? So hey, look at that. Some useless thing. I suppose I could kill the idol, actually, if I don't think there's any value to it. I mean, the only value is that it scores me a... I mean, do I have the pot? Do I have the draw and the... No, I don't. But, maybe it would be better to play without the idol. I wonder, I'm going to try it anyway. I don't know that I actually have enough draw to make this a thing, but... Wow. Now he got a really unlikely and awful dud. He did lower the ironworks for me though, which helps. I mean, if I can draw my 4 ironworks before I play all the cities, then I sure will do that. Which gives me, I guess, one buy, which does help a little bit, right? It helps me get the... So if I do this, well, it doesn't quite work very well. I can get $1 and a buy out of it, but that's just one extra faithful hound. But maybe that's enough. So if I can draw 3 of the ironworks, right? So that's enough, I believe, right? Ironworks for all the ironworks. Draw up 3 of them. Gain 3 faithful hounds. Buy a couple faithful hounds. Because I'll have enough money. I even got a little extra. Alright, so he got a bad dud. I don't know how much he could score in his turn. Obviously, him taking that ironworks gives me a pile out, so I'm not sure about that. But yeah, again. Alright, so here we've got Bandit Fort. What is Druid packing? Does not look compelling. There's no draw. Pardon me. There's no draw here, and there's no trashing. So it kind of looks like an IGG port. Oh man. And the other treasure stuff isn't so great, right? So you open like Silver Baron and go for IGG. I mean, okay, so you could inherit your estates into Pearl Divers, and that's something, but it's not a lot. Wow, this is a weird one. I'm probably missing like some combo or something, but I'm not seeing it. It's not a very good Overlord board. I think I'm gonna try the IGG rush. I mean, if I hit 7, I will. Well, I do not like the Overlord buy. If I hit 7, I will inherit things. And I did. I don't like the Overlord at all. It looks really crappy. I'll just inherit them as Pearl Divers. That's fine with me. I don't really know. I just don't follow the Overlord. You want to, well, I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I'm at a loss. There he gets a market. It's fine. You just pay off your debt. So I should be able to hit 5 here most turns now. And I'll also pick up a few points probably on loose estates. Hopefully he doesn't have 3 coppers. Well, he can't have 3 coppers because he played too many last turn. But sure, I'll top deck a copper. So we are going to get a good old-fashioned IgG fight. My advantage right now is that I guess I have inheritance, so my barons are a little better. There's not a huge amount to be gained by playing. I'll play one of the estates here. I may draw my you can also inherit them as barons. That's not too bad, but it's nice. I have apparently bottom decked a curse. I'll have to go, may have to go in for provinces at some point here. His overlord may be nice at some point. He may get to throne a baron or something. That's not out of the question. That would be nice. It's still not my favorite opening here, but I do have to fight to overcome my silver a little bit. Points wise, it's fine. It's fine to have in the deck. Yeah, courtier is pretty nice. I mean, it's basically just money. It's like a action gold, but that's not a bad card on this board. He may already have baron and another estate in hand, so he's just sort of playing stuff out. In general, I don't... Oh, he had to, okay. I guess there's going to be a real points rush right now. I'm going to have to buy duchy on my turn. Because you can't, like, you just can't not buy duchy. Eventually those estates are going to run just sort of as a matter of course. People play barons without estates in hand. I assume he'll buy a duchy now. Does this help me at all? I know I have... When did I shuffle? I know I have a baron left. So in that sense I could leave this estate down there with the baron. Whereas here I could draw the baron dead. So I guess I better leave it. And not play anymore. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I do have a shot at getting to duchy. I mean, of getting to province. I wish I had tracked the deck a little better. Okay, I'm just wrong. I don't have a baron in here. So I ought to have played on. This should be win here. So that was, I was quite lucky to hit my inheritance, of course, on the reshuffle. So that's a big deal. Obviously, it still is quite close. Here we've got engine, magic lamp. Druid's got trashing, and it's the only trashing on the board. So it should be quite nice. I'll probably ferry the Margrave. I mean, I think it's still worth opening with the Margrave here. And then you just pick up the nice 2s and the 4, your minstrels, when you can get it. Probably will go to a 3 pile. There's not actually much to build to, other than to hitting your wishes and then just sort of being in control and trashing some and having a deck that can draw itself. This is actually like a super good druid for this board. It's not, I mean, I'll buy multiple Margraves. I mean, he probably has the 2/5, which is quite nice to just go ahead and, no, he doesn't actually. Okay. So I don't love his opening, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not what I would have done, but obviously it's not what I would have done. I could have opened it. I'm not quite sure how to build here, to be honest. Like, you can just try and hopefully the Margrave gets to a minstrel and I don't draw the druid, but okay, so that was a good draw for me. I could go like Hamlet Margrave even if I wanted to, although, well, I'm not sure of that purchase, to be honest. But so one Margrave can go. So now I have to decide. I guess we'll just toss everything. That's not a Margrave. Try and get a minstrel here. It would be okay to get the fairy on the minstrels now that I have 2 Margraves. That's really nice that he gets to trash again. Or wisp. I think well, he may not have an estate, but if he does, I would have trashed. If he's got 4 coppers, then it's better to buy a minstrel, definitely. But I would certainly have trashed an estate. This is nice for me. and I trigger a very favorable shuffle for me. I don't quite get to the lamp activation, but pretty close. There's a minstrel bottom deck, so if he plays Margrave for me, then I will get to kick off. I guess the Wisp is angling for a magic lamp thing. It's a little better for that. Or it helps at that. It's not a little better for it. It makes it a lot easier. So he probably has it this turn. I'm not really in a materially better position, which is not unexpected since I'm a turn behind. There will presumably be some sort of pile out available with ferrying stuff later on if we get enough draw going. It's not impossible for me to hit Wish, but it's not very likely since I'll probably have to play Minstrel and Margrave. I assume he just buys Margrave here, like he can wish for Minstrels. See, I would think you buy the Margrave and then you have it in your deck and you can wish for the Minstrels. Seems like a little bit of a more consistent play to me. But what do I know? Yeah, it's not. I do have the lamp, but I'm not going to be able to activate it until I have a Wisp myself. I wonder if it's better to have a top deck Margraver to play on. Probably want to play on. I'm not going to discard for buy. I'm going to get another one anyway. For some reason I was thinking there was less garbage in there than there is, but that's simply not true. So I'm going to need like some moats. I could triple Minstrel. That's not totally crazy. I assume he'll fire off here. Does the Druid have any deck inspection kind of stuff? No. So assuming I don't draw through, I would almost rather have the just trash the estate. so that helps. Everything's still in place to get to the magic lamp. Since we added the moat and the wisp, we can play multiples of Margrave and Wandering Minstrel, right? Yeah, so that's fine. Should be pretty easy. I wonder if he could have taken a gold there and drawn it up. See how many minstrels he leaves us. Possibly not a lot. I could easily still dud here. It's not that likely, but it's not impossible. We're filtering okay. So I assume he'll empty the minstrels now. I wonder if he'll ferry over to a 2. And he just buys a druid. Okay. So the wishes are back. He's done with that. We are going to draw. Of course, the problem here, what does Magic Lamp cost? Of course, the problem here is that the I'm not sure what the problem here is. I haven't quite figured that out myself, despite talking about it for several seconds. Druids are going to be the most likely target for this fairy 3-pile thing. Definitely. I need to draw copper still. I'm trying to figure out what have I got here in my hand. So I mean, I could get another buy. Does that help me? Can I use it? I guess we'll go for it. It may not end up being relevant, but the advantage, of course, being that we can threaten a pile out. The potential advantage being this is a little bit too nice of a starting hand for a Margrave game. And it has gotten gotten a little bit too nicer already. I do expect he'll probably score some points on his turn. Well, that's unfortunate. How do I want to play this? I guess it's better to wait on the wish, right? The wisps are pretty easy to make labs here, which is nice. So that was like just an awful, well, alright. It was fine. But I mean I had to discard a lot of nice stuff, but realistically it was okay. I hope anyway. It'll depend on how much junk these minstrels toss, to be honest. The turn could go sour. He still has a druid, right? Unplayed. So, assuming he scores 0 points, which is very unlikely, I will probably have a pile out if I draw the deck. I think he may have left me a pile out if I draw. That's pretty good. Or that's a great minstreling. Okay, that's all excellent. So I just need to get the Margraves and the Hamlets. So I need $8. And I need, that might be the actual snag, the $8. I didn't actually think that through. Well, him buying yeah, but that's the wish is like a double. Well, if I can draw a gold off the druid, then it'll still work. Otherwise, not so much. I may not have the buys for this, or not the buys, the actions. I feel like I have to go for it though. So my wisps both labbed. Oh. I have to get the gold, right? I gotta count these actions because this is confusing. So I got 5 more terminals I can play, which I would have to play all of them but the moat to get there. This is going to be very interesting. I may not need all the buys from the whatchamacallit. How many buys will I need? I'll need 8 buys. And I'm gonna get several more. I'm gonna get at least 2 more already. So I don't need the this is all kosher. I didn't even need the last action either. Alright, so so the Hamlet he bought didn't give it to me, but not scoring points did. So next person, well, that's not true. I was going to say something that's not true. So a tie or win in these last 2 games will give me a shot, or not give me a shot, will give me the championship. This is a real mess. It's another Magic Lamp game, but it's not really all that great. Wow. There's like nearly nothing you can do here. You can't actually dominate. You can't you could activate lamp and gain golds, which would be good, but not especially Not especially impressive. I'm going to open, I think, Silver Secret Cave. I guess I could open Scouting Party now. If you get really lucky, you take a mint. Like, I could open Scouting Party Vagrant. I don't know exactly what that does for me, but probably you want to play with some peddlers. They don't play well against the ghost ship. Here, I'll just buy a Vagrant. I could Scouting Party. I could try and go for the big mint here. Well, not after I've tossed the estates in. You can activate magic lamps, and it's worth doing. It's just like, well, you can. It's not that easy to do. You have to get a mint to make it work. So the reason I would be hesitant to do this Scouting Party now is because, well, if I draw even 1 copper here, I will mint. If I draw 0 coppers off the ghost ship, then probably not. But if I draw 0, I may... I'm not sure what I'll do. I would take a second mint later on, possibly, if it hit the other 3 coppers. If I draw my, if I top deck my secret cave and my silver, then I might get to pop the lamp, but no luck there. I'm not quite sure how to play out how to balance trying to get the secret or get the magic lamp activated versus just going along and buying cards I actually want. So if you add more cantrips, it's a little harder. Of course, if you add silvers, it's a little harder too. In some sense. A peddler will not go awry or amiss. I'm not sure what I mean. I wouldn't mind a peddler. I guess that's what I mean. If I have a copper on top here, then I'll hit the... Oh, I'm guaranteed to draw 1 copper, aren't I? No, I could draw mint. Estate. Where's my other copper? Oh, I only had 6 coppers. That's right. Okay. So let's think. If we draw mint, if we draw copper, we make it. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. If we don't, then we'll have. I guess still we'll have enough for a peddler, so we'll probably just stop on the peddler. I should be in good position here. He hasn't been able to mint yet, and I've been attacking him a whole bunch. It may have been, well, this is okay. It'll be nice to play with 2. No, that doesn't really help that. Anyway. As far as the buy here, there are maybe a couple ways you can go. Oh, he's resigning. I think I was probably going to win. It's really late for him, so I'm probably playing too slow and being discourteous because he was... I should try to not play quite so slow when my opponent is playing late. So now I'll do blitz, or as close to blitz as I can manage. So we have fairy again. Well, it's been a very long time since I won the league, so I'm happy to have done it again. It was some question of in my mind of whether I ever would, but so the opening here, you could open one of the 5 drawers. You could open the embassy or wild hunt. So you could save your fairy for another day. I'm gonna open a trade route. I think that it's gonna be very hard to I kind of want to buy a fool. I mean, why not? We got baths here. So I'll get some bath points right off the bat. I would rather not, but I would rather be able to ferry a 5 here. I don't know if what I'd ferry Bazaar. You can, of course, just ferry King's Court, although that's maybe a little better later. He gets to hit the ferry. I mean, it's okay. He has a silver, so he may get to just buy one right off the bat here. But I kind of like waiting on that ferry target as well. I don't know. It's probably pretty good. He doesn't have a silver though, so that was misspoken by me. Probably I will take the Bazaar here, and then I will look to ferry the King's Court myself, I guess, in my shuffle. I'm gonna stop playing the lucky coin. These are not the best ever. I don't want a gold. I wonder if it's better to put it on the wild hunt or the Bazaar. Oh, I would have had the oh yeah, I can do this thing. I would have had the King's Court there, of course. This is a bit of an awkward hand in some sense. I'm going to discard for the boon in case I get the plus action one or plus card one. And okay, so it's all, that was all quite nice, to be honest. Of course I can draw a little bit with the wisp. Probably better just to toss everything though, right? Except for the wisp. I almost got to the thing. The King's Court. I'm not going to play Lucky Coin anymore, so I'll toss that to the boon. He got a second trade route. I haven't. Okay, that's really good. I haven't really been watching what he's doing, which is not the best way to play. He must be a little thinner since he's played the trade route more. I will be able to buy a King's Court here, most likely. I'm probably going to discard a copper on the off chance that I hit the Treasures or Flames gift. It's possible it will cost me in some way, but so he probably can double King's Court here, and he'll likely run away with it pretty soon. If not double, he can King's Court. He could move his fairy, I guess. He probably doesn't want to. He may just King's Court fool himself. He may get fool. I could see it anyway. It's not. It's a little odd, but 4 doesn't really help him. I guess he just is wanting the cash. I wonder if he'll take a caravan. No, he did move the fairy. Okay. So I did get the thing I was talking about. I have to be somewhat leery of doing a shuffle here. By which I mean I just absolutely cannot do a shuffle here. I don't think. I think my deck is still quite large. I'm gonna trash the Fool. I could have taken the points off there and trashed Copper, but that doesn't actually shrink my deck size at all, and this does, so. Woohoo! I'm gonna get to do. I've never done this before. I've never had this happen. He'll run away. He'll get a triple trade route down, and but anyway, I still get to do this fun thing, which is discard a King's Court to Lost in the Woods. Okay, so he didn't get to triple there, but he's still gonna just run away. He'll get a King double Wild Hunt or something like that. You keep your, I guess you can keep your lucky coin around as to fuel your trade routes, but there's a lot of other ways to get by in extra cards. So It's not a huge deal to have fuel, I guess. Oh man. That was just, I didn't even consider that as a possibility. That's the best possible thing. They didn't even really help me much. I need a card, right? I need C's Gift or the other things. The Wynn's Gift or something. I think I already saw Wynn's Gift, certainly. I guess the C's Gift is still in there. But that wasn't that exciting. All right, I'll let Marcus get to bed. Unless he wants to play. I don't know if he wants to play it out or not. I can ask him though. All right, we'll play it out. I mean, truth be told, he'll only need a couple more turns and he'll be there, so. Look at that. I think there's a bazaar down in here, right? Yeah. I didn't know I had a second King's Court. But apparently I had a second King's Court. I guess the top 3 ruins are all ruined villages. What I'm talking about there is I ought to have been able to king the Wild Hunt and the trade route, but I just missed it. Where did I get 4 points from? Oh, Bass. I forgot I had a second King's Court. Otherwise, I would have taken a points lead here and not left 6 points on the board for him. And it would have trashed way more silvers, but that's okay. He should be pretty close to a pile. Wow. Well, okay. That's maybe an exaggeration of the situation, but not that far, I wouldn't think. We'll find out if I have any additional actions on the top of my deck here. I missed when he bought a fool. wouldn't be in too bad of a position if I had remembered that I had 2 king's courts. The point differential would be much less lopsided, and then the other stuff would be much better. So I didn't get any. Alright, so I'm missing out on a little bit of kinging actions, though I don't know that I actually have that much that it matters. So we didn't make it either to the last king's court. Unless he's dudded, I guess he'll just have a win. Okay. Well, yeah, there's not like an out that I can play to here. I can play to him dudding, of course, but it's not the most spectacular of outs. I guess I never could have piled right. I maximum. I could have gotten the estates and then I could have gotten 4 buys, but that wouldn't have been enough to do anything as special exciting. Okay. That's really nice. Lost in the woods to get there. It's actually the death cards don't only play into the pile out. It's easier to empty the wild hunts. So I assume he's going to have a pile out here. Certainly he can get the estates, and that's going to be enough points, I think. He'd get 9 wild hunt plays, so that's 9 points. And then just has to figure out how to get the buys. A wild hunt's cheap for him, not for me. Yeah. It would have been interesting to see how it played out with if I had played that one turn better. He might be able to get... No, he doesn't have anything like that kind of money. Be able to trash at least Lucky Coin and Fool. And the Wisp, of course. He can also trash, like... How much money does he need for a pile out? He just needs... Well, with extra buys he can... Well, that doesn't help. Just needs $19. Plus has to buy a province. So $27. Presumably he already has that in hand. And he can afford to trash one more estate. So he can King a Trader it again. Doesn't he have like more bazaars too? Maybe not more bazaars. That's probably it for the bazaars, but he can do one more estate and then... Oh yeah, I forgot about capital. Oh yeah, that's just easy. Easy peasy. Alright, so those were some interesting games. I wish I had remembered about my second game score. Alright, I was quite lucky to win. At least one game was more or less gifted to me. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you later.